Welcome back to the White Noise Podcast, where we have 13 times the amount of episodes more than the Shits and Giggles Podcast. I'm Ethan, joined by Grrr, and as always, Jacob behind the glass.
Hello.
Who the hell was Grr? Is that me?
That's you, bud.
What the? All right. Hi.
And today we have a very good friend of mine joining us here in the studio, Miss Lucy.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Lucy is my good friend.
No.
Her and I go way back.
No.
We've been through ups and downs together like crazy. And she is Jacob's girlfriend.
Hi.
Yeah, how long have you guys been together?
4.5 years now?
Yes.
Wild.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least 12.
At least 12, and
Yeah.
they said 4.5.
Like 12.
Just about. 4.5 going on 12.
Lucy, what is it that you do?
I am a second grade teacher.
Oh,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Coming at you are more school stories and the Memento movie review. So stay tuned, and let's slice this pie.
Cherry pie.
And we're back.
Apple pie.
I just tried apple pie for the first time, actually,
What?
a couple months ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was indeed bussin' respectively.
My favorite's pumpkin.
I like pumpkin.
Lemon meringue.
I'm not a big fan of pie. More like glorified dessert. Does it like chocolate cream count as like a pie?
Like Boston cream pie?
No, just like, I don't know. It's
Like
like chocolate
cheesecake?
mousse.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
I don't
so.
count
It's
those
like-
as pies.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
like cherry pie, apple pie, pumpkin pie. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, speaking of pie, the Kenobi trailer.
There's nothing to do
Guys,
with
I will get better at this, I promise.
Because Ewan McGregor's a cutie pie.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. That's true. The Kenobi trailer, dubbed Obi-Wan Kenobi after the title character, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Gosh.
it's actually the same character from the prequels.
No.
Yeah. So it's
So dumb.
it's pretty wild.
Oh my gosh.
Gavin just got done watching it because we've talked about it, but he's never watched it. What did you guys think?
I got an email about it, but I didn't watch it.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Nice.
Being my girlfriend, she gets the emails about,
I
all
know.
the latest Star Wars news.
No, it was literally said Star Wars and then watch the new trailer. And I was like, why is this in my inbox?
Yeah, I personally sent that to you. What do you mean?
It was just forwarded to Jacob gets the notifications like I have to tell everyone.
Well, I mean, that being said, I personally don't like getting like too high for trailers or reveals, announcements, just because I don't like building up the hype for myself. Because, I don't know, then it feels like the wait is just dragging on. And then, before I know it, Kenobi will be here.
Let's see with everything.
The first
though.
episode will come up.
I envy that.
Like
though.
video games, movies, TV shows.
Hell
like,
no. I'm excited. I get jitters.
Exactly.
I
see that shit,
I
like, oh my
don't
God,
like
oh my
doing
God.
it
He's
to
able to
myself.
turn that off so that it just gets there, and he's like, "Oh, it's here."
I'm like, oh shit, Kenobi's next week.
Yeah. When I
And
get
he's
excited
like,
about something,
yeah,
I'm
I know.
like-
I've been waiting. I'm like, oh,
Dude,
okay.
when I saw the Endgame trailer and like the Infinity War trailer, I was pissing myself until they came out. Like, I counted the days down. I couldn't sleep because I'm like, oh my God, Endgame's coming out in like 3 days. And it's like, oh my God, I can't sleep. So how you were able to do that? I
No,
applaud
same
you.
thing. Yeah, I was like, wow, Endgame is like, we're going next week. I can't believe it.
And I was like,
And
"Yeah,
it was so
I have a
fast.
countdown on my phone."
I don't know,
But-
that's just me though.
with the Kenobi trailer, I watched it, and I just thought it was beautifully edited as a trailer. It was one of the better trailers where it didn't reveal too much. It was a true teaser trailer, because usually teaser trailers nowadays are just the first trailer where they reveal everything. I liked the Kenobi trailer because it didn't give away too much. It just teased you. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, like
That's
you don't
right.
really know what's
You don't
happening.
know what's happening. You just
don't
see
know
the
story,
visuals.
the
You
plot.
see the Obi-Wan Kenobi beard, young Luke.
The Duel of the Fates.
The Duel of the
music.
Fates song. Beautiful.
Ooh, that was good. That was good.
Beautiful.
I've never actually been as hyped for an actual like Star Wars show until now. I don't even think I've ever actually seen a Mandalorian trailer, though, to be completely honest with you. Did they come out?
They
had
had multiple trailers.
Can't
Yeah.
think of one I remember though.
Like I can't remember. Everybody hyped it up, but I was like, "What the? Who's the Mandalorian?"
Yeah, there was always the one where in the first episode where he's pulling the guy
Yeah.
with the thing and then the door closes. That was always like at the very end of the trailer.
That's so dope.
I remember that.
I
If
watched it all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember anything, but I watched it all.
Season 1 and 2.
With Kenobi, Jacob, our certified in-house Star Wars expert.
Thank you.
Do you think they're going to be constricted to the canon timeline? Do you think they're going to stretch it a little bit? Do you think they're going to change the canon a little bit in this show, or do you have any expectations for that?
Expectations? No, I mean, I don't build myself up naturally. I only watched the trailer one time, being how I am. But no, I think there's going to be a lot of, they could do like flashbacks into like Clone Wars era and kind of play with canon or the timeline there. Add some new things that maybe give a different perspective on like Anakin and Kenobi relationship.
That people who maybe haven't seen the Clone Wars can look into.
Or, I mean, I'm just coming up with this right now. It would be really cool, like flashback Clone Wars and then like Hayden Christensen as Anakin with like an Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That would be cool to kind of like tie that together, the animated to the live action.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm so excited for it, because it's the same thing that Rogue One did, is they brought the prequels and the original trilogy kind of together. That's what The Mandalorian is doing now. That was post-Empire. My bad. But I've always loved the time between the prequels and the original trilogy. Yep. I think that's beautiful.
I agree. I definitely agree. Although I am on Team Cringe when it comes to the Inquisitors. I've never really been a fan of those.
Like them, like as...
Like just their concept?
Their concept. Have you guys watched Rebels? They're in Rebels occasionally. It's like...
I played Fallen Order. They're all the bad guys in Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a cool concept, but I just don't think it was good. I don't think it was nicely executed is all.
Well, that was in Rebels then.
Probably. Maybe this will change.
I don't have a problem.
But I mean,
like
the spinning. I've
Inquisitors.
never been a fan of the spinning lightsaber thing.
Okay.
That's specific to the Grand Inquisitor, though, right?
I think so. Although I thought in Fallen Order, I thought several of them had that ability.
No.
No?
They had, like, double-bladed stuff, but... Anyway. They'll be in there. We'll see what they're like. The main... I don't know if he is the Grand Inquisitor, but he looks kind of weird.
That's
The
what
dude with the
that's
big
what
old
everyone's
head.
clowning on,
Yeah.
Speaking of
Big head.
big heads, let's talk about big money with these free agent signings in the NFL.
Christian
Lucy's been
Kirk.
keeping up. Yeah.
I
Lucy
have.
has been keeping up.
I get notifications on
That's
my
crazy.
phone.
You're invested.
I
She's
am
a Star Wars
invested.
girlfriend, NFL girlfriend, you name it.
So well rounded.
Just those two, well-rounded.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
That's it. The biggest one was Cardinals Christian Kirk being signed to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I mean, locally, yeah, you could say that's the biggest one.
For us, the biggest one, yeah. And Gavin being a Jags fan.
Hey, forgot about that.
I'll get you a Christian Kirk jersey now.
I already have a Lawrence jersey. It's
Well,
okay.
I'm getting you a Christian Kirk. How much was it for?
4 years, 87 million.
I believe it was 83.
83.
Oh,
no,
still,
never
yeah.
mind then.
That's
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 not
reasonable.
nearly as much.
only 83 million. Come on now.
Yeah, other ones, Russell Wilson traded to the Broncos. Did we touch on that last week? I don't remember when that
Yeah, we
happened.
did. We talked about it, and then we talked about Aaron Rodgers.
Von Miller signed with the Bills
Saw that, yeah.
late today.
Chandler Jones is going to the Raiders.
Raiders.
Yep.
I knew that.
Those were the biggest ones still to be done, which officially the NFL New Year starts today.
Let's go.
So football season.
Cool.
Happy NFL Day.
Who do you think got the best deal out of all the free agents and trades?
Christian Kirk by far.
Just with all that.
Stealing money from the Jags, which I don't blame them. They don't have anybody, so they need.
I mean, if we
they
go
got to
to-
spend money on someone.
If we go to the Super Bowl now, I'll get a jersey. I'll get a Kirk jersey just for that.
Okay.
Just for that.
You can only get it if you lose this.
If they go to the Super Bowl. That's what's on the line. hear
If
this,
the
Kirk?
Jacksonville Jaguars go to the Super Bowl.
All right.
I'd lose my mind, dude.
This next season.
I would lose my mind if they did that. Oh my
I
god.
think everybody would.
I'd be doing like the face paint and everything, bro. Oh, I would go crazy.
Bro, the Cardinals have a better chance. And they have no chance.
Yeah,
Sad.
that's rough.
Oh, well. I love being a football fan.
Suns are doing good.
You're
Yes,
doing
sir.
phenomenal.
Lucy loves the Suns. She probably knows more about them than I do.
Yep.
More than Jacob.
Yep.
Probably not. Maybe.
Maybe more socially about them. I
From a
guess.
certain point of view, yes.
Cool. Awesome.
Epic.
Speaking of things that are epic,
Mhm.
got to clear the air. Last week we reviewed Encanto.
Fake.
I gave it an 80%. Said I would never watch it again. Then over the last week, found myself really enjoying that movie.
I was gonna say you texted me about it at least twice.
When I picked you up yesterday, I had the
I
song playing.
I realized I was like, oh, bad movie, huh? Yeah.
I didn't
like it
say
that much.
I gave it an 80%. The fact that you think 80% is a bad movie.
It's what you said.
On Saturday at 8:38, Encanto was low-key a banger. That was the text message I got from you.
Yeah.
I've listened to a song on repeat every time I'm alone.
Oh my god! You had to expose me like that. Oh my gosh! You had to expose me like that.
So what's your new rating?
Are you lying to your listeners?
80%?
I'll give it. No, I'll give it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Nope.
stick to. I'm gonna give it a 90.
Oh my god. You were clowning on me so much for picking that movie.
And then he was like, "I think I'm gonna watch it tonight." Like a few nights ago.
I
Tune in next week for the Clearing the Air Part 2 of it.
Encanto review too?
I haven't watched it again, but
You want
I
to.
have watched like.
You fucking liar.
Thought about it.
I don't want to expose myself.
I've seen it at least
I
four
have
times
watched
since we
like
reviewed it.
YouTube videos analyzing the movie and analyzing the song.
The sing-along movie's
And
coming
just-
out soon.
I don't want to.
This gets 10 likes. We'll review Encanto a second time.
Oh, please.
No,
Dislike.
now they're not going to like it on purpose.
Paul makes 10 accounts just to dislike it.
I started drawing something like Encanto related, but I didn't like it. I was
You
doing, like,
drew
I was
something
doing, like,
related
this
to
90%,
this artistic
huh?
piece.
You're
Encanto
stick with
inspired
90.
you, Ethan. I'm proud.
I enjoyed it, and I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Then
But I
why
will
you turn it
say,
in?
So what, 95%?
no, 90%. I will say, we don't talk about Bruno. Super overhyped. I've only listened to it once, and
I'm
it was
so sick of that
watching the
song.
movie. So don't think it.
I haven't grown sick of it yet.
Don't-
I fucking love that song.
I listen to it like 100 times a day because I teach 7-year-olds, and that's all they want to listen to. And Ellie, that's all she wants to listen to in the car too.
Same with my nephew. That and the Surface Pressure song. He dances to that song.
Surface pressure is good.
He dances so he
That's
sings
the
to
one
it.
about Louisa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mirabelle's song "Waiting on My Miracle" or whatever it's called. I like that one too.
Powerful song.
Which one's your favorite?
Powerful song.
Yeah.
Dos Oruguitas is my favorite.
that the one you
That's the
listen
one
to
that I
when you're
listen
alone?
to all the time. Well, on Saturday, I was getting ready for work. I thought I was home alone. I was just blasting it on repeat. Then I go outside, and then I forgot something. But as I went outside, I saw that my mom's car was there, and I was like, "Oh, she's home." So she heard me just blasting that song.
Exposed.
Fun fact, I think that
Next
song
week, Mom's going to be the guest, so we'll talk about that.
I think that song was nominated for an Oscar.
The song itself,
Yeah.
nominated for an Oscar.
I think it was nominated for an Oscar for best like
Original
original
song?
song for a movie or whatever.
The one you like?
Yeah.
Despite we don't talk about Bruno being like #1 on like the charts and everything.
Well, just this song is written so beautifully, Gavin.
Majority of America.
Exactly. You need say no more. But that is the Encanto clearing the air.
Review
Do you feel
2.0.
better now that you've cleared your conscience?
Anything else you want to admit?
I was looking on Amazon to see if they had any hats,
Oh my god,
but
really?
they didn't have any men's adult hats. So
Probably because there's not that huge of a market for merchandise.
I went on the
for that.
Disney website. Still didn't find any.
Wow. Commitment.
But maybe I'm just exposing myself too much. Maybe I'm
a little.
exaggerating it a little bit.
Shocking.
I think you liked that movie a little too much.
I've only seen it once. It was okay.
You
The
lied.
movie itself was okay. You know.
Would you watch it again?
Would I watch again? I said last week I wouldn't watch it again.
Liar.
This week I probably would, but not by myself. I'd be like, "Hey, Ellie, you want to watch Encanto?"
Just so you feel better about yourself.
Oh, Ellie wanted to watch it.
Ellie wanted to watch it. That's why we're watching it right now. That's exactly
If
what's
I
going on.
walk in the living room and I see it, I'm gonna be like, Ellie, did you ask for this?
And she'll say, yeah.
Okay.
Just doing it for my niece, guys. Ellie, can we watch it again?
Oh god.
All right, speaking of movies, the movie review. The movie last week that was picked was Memento, Christopher Nolan's movie from the year 2000. It's one of his early movies that kind of brought him to fame right before the Batman, and now look at him making not so good movies like Tenet. And this has been your weekly reminder that Tenet is not a good movie. If we get to 50 likes, I'll explain why in detail. Because Gavin doesn't like that I just poo-poo all over it.
50 likes.
But yes, that was last week's movie. Gavin, what did you think of Memento?
It wasn't I didn't hate this movie, but I mean, I gotta say the first time I watched it, because I watched it like, I guess 1.5 times. I watched it once, and then I was like speeding through it to watch it again. For the first time watcher, it was very, very, confusing to watch.
Go ahead, give us the bullet points.
All right. The bullet points of the movie itself?
Yeah.
Okay. So you read the synopsis last week of it's about a guy who his wife was raped and murdered, and in that home intrusion incident, he got injured to where he can't retain short memories. He can't form new memories. So every 15 minutes or so, his memory kind of resets, and he can only remember up until that accident. So he's trying to investigate the murder of his wife and with this memory loss. So he has a Polaroid camera with him. He constantly takes pictures of his car, where he's living, friends and enemies. And then he writes their name and little notes on it, and gets tattoos all over his body of the facts and stuff to remember, and that his wife was killed and murdered, or raped and murdered.
Nice.
That's commitment. Tattooing it on
So
himself?
so the concept itself, it's a cool concept.
It was unique, yeah. I liked it.
What Christopher Nolan does is the way that it was edited and told was it's being told on 2 different timelines, in a sense, in 2 different ways. One's a film noir way where it's in black and white and narrated, and the other way is in color where it just tells a story. But the part in color is going chronologically backwards. So it opens with, theoretically, the end of the story, and then it'll cut the black and white part where it's going forward, and then it cuts to the color part where it's the scene before the last color part, and then it just goes like that until the color and black and white meet. And Gavin, he already said it's really confusing for a first-time watcher if you don't know what you're getting into. But if you know kind of what's going to happen and then you watch it, then you'll have a better understanding. I really enjoyed that editing part of it. Usually I kind of give Christopher Nolan a lot of criticism for just making movies too confusing, because it's cool to have twists and all this, but it's one of my criticisms with Tenet is it's really complicated, really convoluted, hard for just the average audience member to follow. But Memento did it really cool because the whole thing about the movie is based around the theme of memory. So watching it and trying to follow along, trying to focus, your memory is kind of being messed with and toyed with while you're watching the movie. You're having to second guess the events that happen. And if you look closely too, there's continuity errors in the movie that kind of get you second guessing yourself, but it's done there on purpose so that you second guess yourself. So it messes with you psychologically like that. And then you kind of sympathize with the main character because of what he's going through. And I just thought that was a really cool concept, and the way that it was executed was it was so original when they did that, and I enjoyed it. One of my favorite movies that we reviewed.
Okay. I really like how you said with the continuity and stuff. I really did like how he had the scratches on his face. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you'd see him with those, but as the movie progressed, you would notice the scars aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So I really liked that. I liked how the whole, what was his name, Samuel Beankins or whatever? Jenkins.
Sammy Jenkins.
Yeah, like how he was like, oh, he killed his wife by accident because she was trying to see if he can remember stuff, so he was giving her insulin, and she'd be like, okay, I'm ready for my next shot. And he would forget that he gave her the insulin, but it ended up actually being him. So it's like, it was weird because it's like, he remembered the events, but it was almost as if he didn't remember them because it was him.
Well, that was the whole thing, like...
So it's like, he can remember that.
The ending was left open to kind of interpretation, as Christopher Nolan usually does. Where it's like, was Teddy really telling the truth? What's going on there? Is Leonard Lenny? I realized Sammy, Teddy, Lenny, Natalie, they all had those E names at the end. Did he actually, what's true, what's not?
Yeah, the part with Lenny towards the end of the movie got a little confusing, to be completely honest.
And I think that was done on purpose.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
It messes with your memory, just like how Leonard's memory is always messed with.
Yeah, and I gotta say, man, fuck Natalie. She is God. She's such a mean person. Like the part where she's like calling his wife a whore, and she's just calling him slurs.
I think that's the whole thing too. Is when you first get introduced to Natalie, you're like, oh, this is like an ally to him, and then as it keeps on going and going, you're like, this woman is twisted.
She's like,
as the story's going backwards too,
Yep.
and that's the thing that's trippy because when he first meets her, she's really mean, and then as it goes on, she gets even more mean, and then really nice, and you kind of have to pick up the pieces and try to pinpoint when each event happened.
Yep. Because she's calling him slurs, and she goes, I could say whatever the hell I want to you because you're going to forget, and we're going to be best friends the moment you do. And then when she left, got into her car, waited 10
Sat
seconds.
there for a couple seconds.
And he's like, she took all the pens, so he couldn't write down. So he's like, I got to find a pen. And then he forgets, and she comes back in and plays it off like she got beat or something, even though it was him that punched her because she was pressing buttons.
Yeah.
And it was just so evil to see that play out. I'm like, oh, man, dude. I was like, man.
Christopher Nolan loves beating women.
It's like Teddy was right, dude.
in his movies. But
Hopefully.
I think it was Joe that told me Christopher Nolan doesn't have like a cell phone.
He doesn't have a what?
He doesn't have a cell phone.
Like right now? Or like 2000?
Like now.
What?
Like he doesn't carry a cell phone with him. Like his wife is a producer in all of his movies, and all like communication goes through her. He's very old school. He doesn't use like with cameras, he doesn't use zoom lenses. So wherever you see the frame of the shot, that's where the camera is. So if it's a close-up, that means the camera's right there in the face. I forgot what movie he was working on, but there was an actor that said it really helps with the tone of the shot because there's a camera right in your face and it's dramatic, which close-ups are supposed to convey. So it's really neat working on that.
Neat.
That's a little bonus fun fact right there.
Wow.
That's got to be a producer's worst nightmare. Not be able to call your fucking director.
According to Joe. So if I'm wrong, it's all Joe's fault. Shout out, Joe.
Shout out, Joe.
But yeah, that was Memento.
What's
Gavin,
the
what's
rating?
the...
I'm going to give it an 85.
Okay.
Thought it was really good. I think it's got great rewatchability just because it happens in reverse.
Yeah.
So you can watch it and be like, oh, I didn't catch that. Maybe maybe you didn't notice he didn't have scars or something like that the first time. So yeah, 85.
I'm going to give it 95. Really enjoyed it.
Whoa, better than Encanto?
Yes.
Are you purposely giving it a higher rating?
No comment. No, I enjoy
Yes.
Christopher Nolan. I think his early stuff is just him at his best. But I enjoyed it. One of my favorite filmmakers, actually. So
Wow. High praise for Christopher Nolan.
high praise for Christopher Nolan, except Tenet. That's basically my consensus. I like all his movies. Tenet was just a huge letdown to me.
Speaking of Christopher Nolan, but not really, what's next week's movie?
Well, I mean,
But not really.
I guess not. I mean, yeah, all right. Well, next movie is going to be The Batman.
Matt Reeves, the Batman.
Yeah.
The new one, 2022.
Edward Cullen Batman.
The one that just came out. So next week we
Spoilers.
will be talking about it.
Spoilers.
With spoilers.
Naturally.
Please go see the movie.
Go see the movie. Or don't if you don't care. Jacob's not going to see it.
I like to
think-
remain impartial.
He likes to remain impartial, so he's not going to see it. I'm I might go see it again.
Take me with you, to be honest.
Okay.
I can use a refresher.
Cute.
Nice.
All right, now I'm going to go see it at a different time.
All right, The Batman by Matt Reeves has got an 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Batman ventures into Gotham City's underworld when a sadistic killer leaves behind a trail of cryptic clues. Wonder who that could be. As the evidence begins to lead closer to home and the scale of the perpetrator's plans becomes clear, he must forge new relationships, unmask the culprit, and bring justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued the metropolis. So,
Sounds like
a
just every
Batman movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like every Batman movie.
You just described The Dark Knight.
Literally, yes.
All right, be sure to watch The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman. And we'll review it next week. If you have any opinions about it or your thoughts, criticisms, things you loved about it, leave them down in the comments of
Next week's or this week's?
this week's, obviously. Next week's, we'll already be reviewing it. Leave it in the comments of this week's. So if you don't want to get it spoiled, don't check the comments.
Naturally.
Naturally. I want to hear your thoughts. I think it's going to be our most in-depth review. And let's get to the static.
Oh.
Welcome to the static.
Beautiful.
Oh, exquisite. Just had to squeeze at least one in there.
All right. Speaking of squeezing,
Whoa.
road rage.
You really gotta work on
squeezing in
those.
between lanes.
Okay.
Bad.
We're going to test this out.
Can't start that off with that. Speaking of squeezing.
Speaking of squeezing.
Ethan, unhand me.
Gavin, you got any road rage stories for us?
Oh, man. Okay. I do. In fact, I got several.
All right, give us one.
Let's give you one.
Give us one,
Oh,
and then maybe
man.
we'll come back to you.
Okay. So I know I'm quite this. I have a mouth of a sailor usually. So it might get ramped up. I'm gonna see if I can tone it down, but I get a little pissed off when I talk about this.
All right, Dad, skip ahead 5 minutes.
So I was driving down the I-10, and there was a semi-truck in the lane. There was a semi-truck, and I was in the very right lane. So he needs to merge onto exit, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm already like halfway through, so I'm just going to speed past you. You can get in front of me, right? Well, he immediately tried to merge on before he even put his blinker on or anything. Immediately swerves back. Like quick, like jerked that wheel back. I thought he could have went over just because of how quickly he did it. But so I'm like, okay, he sees me, so I'm gonna speed up. Well, a car in front of him, that's the same truck, but I mean it's a different truck obviously, but same logo. So they must be following each other. He gets over, so now I can't speed up. So I'm like, damn, all right. Semi-truck tries to merge again, this time running me into the dirt. Because I'm like, all right, Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck, dude? So I honk. So I lay on my horn. He immediately like goes back to his normal lane. So I'm like, okay, well now I'm going to... Exit's coming right up, so now I'm going to reverse. Or not reverse, I'm going to slow down.
Okay.
So that way he can, merge over. Because I'm a nice guy like that, I'm not going to just straight up not let him
Respect
merge.
that.
So I go to slow down. He doesn't let me clear his vehicle first. So he starts to merge over again, puts me into the dirt. And so at this point, I just hit my brakes. I was like, dude, what the So I honked again. And then I get into the next lane because I needed to get over too. And I just speed past him. But like as I speed past him, I see him give me that gesture, like, what are you doing look?
Hands in the air.
Yeah, where he like looks at you and goes like this or like something like that.
Like this, yes, on an audio podcast.
Well, anyway, anybody who drives know which gesture I'm talking
Eyes
about.
squint, hands in the air.
Yeah, and I gave it back to him. I was like, what are you doing? Why am I the asshole here?
Yep.
Like, what the?
Brows furrowed.
Oh
hands
my
in the air.
god, I hate that shit, dude.
Hands thrown down.
I'm the asshole here. Yeah, right. The guy that doesn't know how to fucking drive a semi truck. I'm the dickhead here. God damn it, dude. But yeah, that's my one.
Lucy, you have any rages from the road?
I'm a little bit of a speeder. So
Speedster.
Yeah, I just don't like it when I don't have anything like a specific story, but like I do get a little aggressive if they're driving a little slow in front of me. I do have a little potty mouth when I drive around them.
She yells.
Yes, or if I just can't get around them, I will tailgate them until they move over so I can speed past them. But that's like my level of road rage. Like nothing really bothers me unless they're cutting me off. Oh, that's the worst. But I just like to tailgate if they're slow because I'm a speedy.
Oh, gosh.
But I don't have any
Beautiful.
crazy road rage stories, no.
There was a time a while back where I was in the HOV lane going 15 over.
Was that an admission?
Typical. It was over 7 years ago, statute of limitations. Right?
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was going pretty fast, but I was still going a reasonable speed. And there's a truck behind me that was pressuring me to go faster. I was like, dude, I'm not going faster. This is fast enough for you, pal.
I hate that shit. Yeah.
And he went around me and like honked and flipped me off, and I was like,
I never do that.
whoa, I'm already going.
Oh, I'm
pretty
sorry,
fast.
sir. Criminal speeding is not good
Exactly.
enough for you?
I used to drive back and forth from Tucson a lot, and that's when my true speeding came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun because I would get pulled over. And so, but I would never actually get a ticket because I would always talk my way out of it. And Jacob is always so surprised that I'm able to talk my way out of it. Yeah, that's just my speeding stories.
You talked your way out of a speeding ticket?
Yeah,
Multiple,
times.
yes.
I've only gone 2
She's a
out of
female.
like the
She's a
7
woman.
times I've been pulled over.
Very beautiful woman who I'd like to take to the movies.
You should go take her to the movies
From Rush Hour.
to watch The Batman.
Oh, is
Why do you know where that is
it?
now?
Shut up.
We should bring back the movie quotes, guys.
God,
I think I got it. I think I'm good to go.
No.
Warmed up.
Never again.
13 episodes in, I'm warmed up.
Jacob
like a
gets
third-
too upset now for that.
It's like the third time you've quoted Lethal Weapon.
Lethal what? Rush
Rush
Hour.
Hour, my bad.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Rush Hour is exquisite.
Oh, exquisite.
Solid trilogy.
So I'm guessing you guys get really heated when you drive then?
Yeah,
Do you?
Yeah, I do a little bit. But I also don't speed a whole lot. Like maybe 5-10 over at max on the freeway. I've gotten my fair share of tickets in the past, so I've learned a little bit.
Oh. Well, I took criminal justice and law enforcement classes in high school, so I know like 20 over felony speeding.
Yes.
Anything over or 10 over is like criminal speeding. So I know my limit.
You know your limit.
I know my limit.
are you
know?
sure?
I know that I'll never do felony speeding, like half the people on the road. But like you.
I'm a change
Gavin
person
looks
now.
at me like that. Gavin swears I drive
I've
super
watched,
fast.
I've watched
no,
you
no.
hit 85
I've seen
miles
you
an hour.
drive.
85?
Yep.
That's the fastest I'll go.
You want to talk about
That's
when we went to
fucking-
I won't go
ATL?
86.
You're lying.
I won't go 86. I did. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but whenever Lucy drives with me, I suck at driving.
Horrific.
Ran a red.
Yikes.
Casually.
I was just
too.
casual. I was
He
driving.
talking.
I was
and
talking.
driving.
Da 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 da. And then she's like, "It's red," and I was like, "Oh, oops." I was like, "Oops."
So dumb.
By the time I
Fucking
noticed,
I was so scared.
It was too late.
I was eyeing the person that was ready to turn left. Like they were ready to go. So I'm just like watching.
It's a good thing they
Ethan.
didn't. It's a good thing they saw me and like, oh, I don't think this guy's stopping.
Yeah, at least one of you guys were a responsible driver.
Exactly. Sometimes I forget to turn my lights on,
Oh my god.
and then it became a thing to where I always turn them on now, even in the day, because I forgot.
Well, it's like you know that head turn. You know that head turn where you're supposed to like look
Yeah.
your blind spot when you turn.
I don't do that.
Why? Why don't
What do you mean you
that?
don't do that?
So many people don't do that. Now,
Yeah.
it must be such a hard.
It's a
fucking
reflex
motion.
for me.
Good luck, everybody
Literally.
else.
That's what I always say. And when I make a turn, I'm like, good luck.
But it's just like I hate. It's like maybe they didn't. Maybe like not everybody knew it. Like maybe it was like some fucking ancient tradition, like passed down by scrolls or some shit. You know,
I mean, I've been doing fine without it.
But because it's so many times where people just shoot out into other lanes, and I'm just like, oh, fuck me, right? Like I was trying to drive. It's your road. My bad, buddy.
But it was yesterday when I'm just driving, just cruising, going the speed limit, listening to a song.
Oh, was it in Spanish?
Yes.
From a popular Disney movie?
I don't want to talk about it. And it's 4 lanes. I'm in one of the middle ones, and the person in the far left one just goes to the far right one to turn. I was like, do you not prepare when you're driving to say, oh, I need to exit here, so let me get over and prepare for that?
They're probably taking a friend home, to be fair. And he's like, hey, take this exit.
God, I hate that.
Dude, in those
giving directions.
in those instances, I'm like, okay, I'll just get the next one and turn around. Like, not gonna.
That's what you should
Common
do.
Exactly.
sense.
That's what
However,
you should do.
the
I
world
used
doesn't
to have really bad road rage. I don't anymore.
I don't believe you.
There's a dent in the hood of my car
Yes.
where it's dented and kind of messed up for when I would hit it.
He touches
during
it
my rage.
when he's driving. He's like, I'm a
Like,
changed
oh,
person.
Like, look at this. Not anymore.
You let a
like you're
stranger
fucking-
get you that angry? Oh, my God.
It's like your abused wife or some shit. Like, I'm sorry, baby. I will never do that
Yes,
again.
exactly.
And then you get cut off. You're like, you fucking bitch.
Back
Just
in the
fucking
same spot.
punch
It's
it.
always the same spot.
It's indented.
It's indented in the same spot. If you look in his car.
Well, I know me and Lucy are little petty drivers.
Oh, I'm very petty when I drive.
So that time when someone's like speeding right behind you, tailgating you,
I
it's
hate
probably
that.
Lucy. But then like they'd go to get over you, like to pass you real quick.
I don't let them pass.
you
But like,
speed up.
but there's like a car in front of them now, and so you kind of like speed up so they can't get
do that
over.
too.
I
I do that all
never
the
let them pass.
Yeah,
I'll even turn and look at them too.
I'm a frequent.
Either that or I'll like slow down. It's like, if you're on my ass, okay, well, we can go like 10 more under.
Yeah, no, I've never hit the roof of my car. I don't think.
Yeah, that's
Really?
different.
I don't know how it started.
Yeah,
but
that's a little too much even for me, to be
it
honest.
hasn't. I'm changed. I haven't done it in over a year.
Are you keeping track of how
Covering
long?
addict?
I'm too busy jamming to Jitterbug. So
That song's a bop. Gosh, now I can't use it for the song of the week. Damn it. Okay. That's road rage this week.
Road rage.
Wage.
Road wage.
What's
Road wage.
road wage?
Wabbit season.
That,
the movie woo.
that's this week's road rage. So, Miss Lucy,
Yes.
you're a second grade teacher. Mm-hmm. You have a very distinct nickname that I find very amusing. Would you care to share that with the audience and elaborate on that nickname?
My nickname they never say it directly to me, but they're not really good at whispering. But they call me the Queen of Mean in second grade. I think it's been passed
think
on
it's
to like
so
first grade and kindergarten
creative.
too at
That
this
is-
point.
For kids that young, that is just an amazing nickname to come up with.
It's like a
Thank you
cartoon
so
villain.
much.
Exactly, and I
I love it. They think it would like offend me.
You
but no, I
thrive
love
off
it.
of
I do. I'm like, keep it coming.
Sounds like a villain in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
You're gonna show up with a crown and a sash with Queen of Mean.
Oh yeah, I own it, and I love that I can instill like fear in them because I want them to fear me because they're 7, and so
So, are you a mean teacher?
I don't think I'm mean. I think I'm just very stern, and so like my students, I would like to say they love me, and because even when I leave to like go anywhere, they freak out. But I'm very stern, so I like things a certain way. I'm very like type A in the classroom.
It's like one of those things where kids from the outside looking in are like, "Oh, Miss
Oh,
Lucy's
yes.
mean," but then you have her class. And
it's
she's
the
like,
other
"Oh, I love
second
Miss
grade
Lucy."
students.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Shout
all.
out to Mr. Hogg.
So, what's the weirdest thing
That's-
you think you've caught a second grader doing? Like, what's the weirdest thing?
The weirdest
Oh
thing.
no!
You know what? I keep the questions coming.
Okay, so the weirdest thing, we have a student. He used to hump everything. He would. We
God.
have mats that we, give them a spot to sit on the mat. He would hump the mat. At a desk when he would sit there with his hands in his pockets, and you would go by his desk and kind of, hey buddy, let's get to work. So I think that's probably the weirdest thing I've encountered. Oh, another one is probably a girl that eats crayons. So we really had to work with her to stop. Well, she went through a lot of boxes of crayons.
Like
she
full
she knows the taste of
devour
the good
crayon.
crayons.
Well, she knows
marine bound.
She knew the good crayons because her mom started buying her the dollar store ones, and she was not impressed. She liked Crayola, like that was her brand.
Texture wasn't as good.
It was not. She went
gourmet shit
She
right
went
here.
through a lot of boxes where her mom was like, "I'm over it. I'm done." So that's another one.
I gotta say that exceeded my. I mean, I got in trouble for like sniffing markers, like
Oh no, that's
Eating
nothing.
boxes of crayons.
humping things.
Humping things.
Oh my gosh.
We had to have him sit in a chair. We had to talk to his mom. It was this whole thing because I was just like, "What's wrong with this kid? Like, why is he doing that?" But yeah.
This kid's gonna watch this like 15 years from now, just in an archive.
I hope so.
Just be like, "Damn, she was talking about me."
I have to walk him. We have drive line where we have to like hold their hand and walk them out to the car. I don't do that. I just hold his shoulders and walk him to his car because I don't know where those hands have been.
Jeez. Second grade. How old are they? Like 7?
They're
right?
7
Yeah.
and 8. Yep, 7 going
Damn.
8.
Do you like read them stories?
I do not know. They're too old for that. They'll look at me like I'm crazy. I tried reading them one story around Christmas and they were not having it, so I didn't try that again.
My second grade teacher always did. Shout out Miss Curtis, Colin's mom.
Aw.
Colin's mom.
She always read the Sweet Pickles books from like the 70s or the 80s. Jeez, those were fun.
I think kids are so invested in technology now, so they are not as interested in having their teacher read to them. They get bored and they check out pretty easily.
What a shame.
It is very sad. It's
It was
very
my
sad.
my second grade teacher was Miss Denopoli.
Miss Denopoly.
Yep.
That's a pretty
Wow,
cool
I
name.
remember that. Yep.
Second grade was when I said Thomas Edison invented the blanket.
I remember that from a few
Forgot
months
about
ago.
that.
Oh, how far you've come.
I want. Does she still work at that school?
I don't know.
You need to find her and see if she remembers that stupid shit. Like, there's got to be no way that she
No,
forgot about that.
So now that I have cousins that are teachers, friends that are teachers, Lucy's a teacher. She falls in the friends category. I don't want to exclude her from that. She falls in, whatever. And then hearing their stories, I was like, damn, what did teachers think of me when I was in second grade?
I go home and I talk about these kids.
Like-
and sometimes Jacob's like, "You're talking about 7-year-olds?" I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't think my brain turned on until about 5th grade.
I believe it.
One time I took a test in 5th grade, and they're like, oh, you're smart. You're going to skip 6th grade math and go to 7th grade. And I was like, wow.
hey.
Hey, you surprised all of us, buddy.
It's like, all right. And then look at me now. They ruined me.
Oh, sad.
It took us like an entire night to do like one question on the Alex
Dude.
test for math.
That math was stupid.
That one question we
you
had.
locked a core memory for me. Jeez.
When,
Do you remember that? That one question that the formula was wrong for?
yeah.
Took us like 3 hours to do that.
And you couldn't just get it wrong. You had to get it right to continue.
Right.
Sad.
It's the worst. But, we probably did something when we were done. We probably went to like Whataburger or CVS or played D&D. So it was good.
Oh, wow.
Aw. Coping mechanism.
The good old days, college life. Speaking of college life, Lucy, I bet you have some great college experiences. What did you go to school for, and then now you're a second grade teacher?
I went to the U of A, and I went to school for microbiology and psychology, so which has nothing to do with education that I'm doing now. I was
You can
pre-med
teach
at
them
the
that,
time.
yeah. You can teach second graders.
Second
pretty
grade.
good.
Yeah, can you imagine me pulling out molecules on second graders? But yeah, I was pre-med all of college, and then after college is when I decided I wanted to teach. Crazy stories in college. I think the craziest thing I've ever done was with my roommate, and we drank. She
Naturally.
picked a fight with someone, and then we ran. And we kept running, and then we ran into cops. Like on campus, they have like security, especially on like Fridays, especially on the college campus. And then we couldn't get back into our dorm because I don't know where our key went. We were running for so long. So naturally, we fell asleep in front of our dorm. And the next morning, one of our other roommates found us. So,
You didn't want to go to the front desk and just.
well, the front desk isn't open 24/7.
Damn.
So
That sucks. Gavin's been locked out a bunch of times, so I can't imagine.
Especially when I was drunk. Thank God I didn't have that problem.
It's not 24/7, so
One
yeah.
time, Gavin went to the bathroom, which wasn't in the room. It was like a community bathroom.
Oh, I
Gavin, you
had
tell the
those. I
story.
hated
Tell the
those.
story where you just
So yeah, what was it Jaden? Shout out Jaden. He had these bottles, and I thought they were beer, but like after I drank mine and I drank Ethan's and I drank the rest of Jay's, he was like, "Oh yeah, no, that was wine." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Damn," and because it's like I was like, "Damn, this is kind of strong."
Kinda
He goes, "Oh,
potent.
that's wine." I was like, "They have wine in beer bottles?" And then of course, sure in the label, fucking like a red wine or something. I'm like, oh, probably should have read it. But I go to the bathroom, and you need a key to unlock the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. I go to pull up my key, and I'm like, oh no, I am like pretty much. I am only wearing shorts. This is at like 2 a.m, 1 a.m, way past bedtime, and then
sleep time.
So I was like, oh no. And my stupid ass tried to go back into my room. And I was like, I need my key. I was like, shit. So had to go back to the front desk. That was pretty wild. I had never sobered up so quickly before in my entire life.
I've been locked out on my dorms plenty of times, but we were inside, so I would just stand outside and wait for my roommate to come back. It was sad. There was one time, though, it was because we had community showers as well, and we would have to, like, carry all our stuff in a shower caddy, and I was on the all-girls floor, so we all would just leave the bathrooms with our towels wrapped around us. But specifically that day, I don't know why, we had a different RA that was walking through, and it was a dude, and he was just like, you good? And I was just standing out there for hours with a towel, and I was like, I don't know where my roommate is. So college was crazy. I didn't like the whole community bathrooms.
Room 1 had the clean. I mean, floor 1 had the clean bathrooms.
I know those were so clean.
I think the first floor were mostly girls, so no guys ever used the guys'
That's
bathroom.
probably why it was so clean.
So we would go down to the first floor bathroom.
Man, that third floor,
Third floor? Oh my gosh. It
those
was
were monsters.
The entire third floor was monstrous.
I feel like every other time I went up there, one of the stalls was straight up closed. So I don't know who fucked it up, but I mean, something went down in one of those stalls.
Or didn't go down.
Our first few months on campus living in the dorms, there was probably a fire alarm twice a week.
And it
I
always
used to
happened
sleep
at like
through
3 in the
them.
morning.
Happened at 3 a.m. One time it happened twice in one night. The first time it happened, I remember I was knocked out. I just hear it blaring, and I wake up. And it's like I got flashbang. Like I'm moving in slow motion.
I
And then
never got up.
my roommate Jaden,
Shout out
like
Jaden.
he opens the door. I just see a silhouette with the light, like the backlight. And I was like, Jaden, and he kind of like grabs me and carries me out. And I will always dub that as the night Jaden saved my life from a fire.
Shout out Jaden.
There was no fire. It was just a fire alarm that went off.
Oh, just the
Someone
alarm.
just
Just
burnt
the
the fucking
alarm.
ramen.
Just
But I
saved
was-
you from the
I
alarm.
was going crazy. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
It's like a cinematic cutscene.
Failed the quick
you're
time
not
event.
very oriented when you wake
I
up.
couldn't control. I couldn't control my body.
So I can't imagine.
What about you, Jacob? Any college stories?
No, I didn't stay on college campus. I commuted.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So no,
I mean, we do have
slept in my own bed.
that one, but
Oh,
certain someone's not here to defend himself or his actions. So I guess we don't have to.
When he's on, maybe we'll bring it up. Okay.
Can we? Maybe we could post. We could upload a picture, and it'll just be up to interpretation.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
We'll have Cameron defend
I
himself in
did
a
give
couple
you a
weeks.
funny voicemail from that though.
Yeah, I still have it.
'Cause Ethan over here wouldn't answer his phone.
I was
and
sleeping.
He was the only other sober one.
I was,
It was like 11 o'clock at night. Bullshit, you were asleep.
going to bed. I think I have it right here.
No, you don't need to play it. You don't need to play it. Stop.
Play it. Hold on.
It's not playing. It's good.
Damn.
Get that shit off. Stop.
Hey, Ethan, it's Gavan. Give us a call when you can. You are needed direly.
Hey, Ethan, it's
Fuck.
Gavin.
What?
Give us a call when you can. You are needed direly.
All right, thanks.
didn't sound like it.
It was very
Direly.
muffled, yeah.
Dude, I was freaking out. There was some shit
I
going
was
on.
in bed, and
Oh,
I
hey,
hear that
Ethan,
voicemail, and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, I'm just here bleeding out, so if you could just call me back, that'd be great. Thanks.
I think that's something Gavin would do.
Oh,
And you left me for dead.
Once I got that voicemail, then I showed up.
sleep time.
It was after everything was already happened.
Oh, okay. Sleep time. Gavin would say that all the time. All right, sleep time.
It was not sleep time for that night. There was no sleep time.
He told me he got that from This Is the End, the movie, where Michael Cera is receiving oral pleasures from women.
As one does.
And he was drinking a Capri Sun. And he was like, sip time.
And he like puts it down.
Yeah, he puts it down.
You could hear someone start drinking out of it.
Oh my god.
So it's just sleep time.
Sip time.
Yikes.
Michael Cera was the best part of that movie for the small amount of time he was in it.
All my college experiences, quote unquote, is from Lucy. So
Oh yeah.
that's it. My first drop of alcohol was at her apartment.
Yep.
Down where she was going to college in Tucson. Mm-hmm. Made the drive, and that was my first sip of alcohol. She made me do a shot.
Well, he had turned 21 at that point, and on his 21st birthday, he didn't drink.
Nope.
It's quite the sip.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was.
let's take a shot. And he took it like a champ.
Tanked it.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Never do it again.
I let him in on my college experience.
Aw.
How
Would not
wholesome of
recommend.
you.
I've seen him very drunk.
Yes.
I ruined, what is it, rum?
Yeah, ruined rum for me. Can't even smell it. Ugh.
Where's the rum? Shout out Jack Sparrow. So, Lucy, you've known all of us for quite a while, actually. Even Gavin,
Yeah.
which I think is wild.
That's funny.
Lucy and I go way back. Old friends in high school.
We were not friends in high school.
Neither were we, so.
Oh, we weren't friends in high school. Me and Gavin weren't really friends in high school.
If I knew you in high school, I would be saying it right now.
I believe that. That's fair. So not not old high school friends, but sometimes I say, "Oh, me and Lucy, like we went to high school together,"
He says it to make me mad.
and she
Is there
doesn't
old
like it.
chums or what?
Well, I was a freshman and she was a senior. We were at the same school, so we did go to school together. And I actually,
Technically,
I was friends with some of her friends, but I never met her. So it's crazy.
How? Huh? You were friends with some of her friends, but you never met her?
I never met Lucy.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I was friends with her friends, but
So
I
we
never
had
met her.
mutual friends that
Yeah.
he hung out with, but we never
It's
met.
crazy. But
Thank goodness.
she did tell me early on, if I knew you, then I wouldn't be dating Jacob. I didn't believe that until very recently. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Freshman Ethan was
Yeah, shout out to Ethan.
a rascal.
You're different. You've grown a lot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Gavin has it in his mind that I hated him freshman
You
year.
did.
No, I didn't. I just didn't have any interest.
I tried talking to him. I tried talking to this man.
What kind of interest are you talking about?
He wasn't interested in you.
He
Until
would shut
after
me
high
down
school.
so much every time I tried to talk to him. There's like,
I would just respond very bluntly or like
Well,
Dry.
in Ethan's
Dry,
defense,
yeah.
he wasn't very social at the time either. He was just kind of,
just chilling.
he was just vibing.
you were the class clown of PE. Get the hell out of here when you weren't social.
Gee, I might have been.
He didn't know how to connect with people. That's why he was a class clown.
Yeah. It was a cry for help, Gavin, and you saved me.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Aw, cute.
No, so yeah, me and Gavin met probably really early freshman year, but we didn't even become friends till halfway through senior year. So
Wow.
look at that.
Beautiful story.
Now we do a podcast together,
Aw.
and we roomed 3 doors down at ASU. So
Was that on purpose or was that by accident?
3 doors down.
Yeah.
Good name for a band, by the way.
Pretty sure it is.
It is.
Three doors.
Like, that is a band.
Probably why it's a good name. No, because when we were picking our rooms and stuff,
It was on
we were
purpose.
trying to see where we were staying so we could be close. By the way,
Yes.
Awesome.
I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it. Never mind.
Okay.
But yeah, now rest is history. Gavin hated me freshman year, so
Sad.
it's whatever. It's fine.
You're inseparable.
I worked
now,
through
though.
it.
You
I
worked.
think, I think
through it.
Lucy knew Gavin the most before we did.
Exactly. She did.
I knew Gavin because of someone else I was dating at the time, and so I hadn't met Gavin when he was younger. He was quieter.
It was?
Yeah,
was?
I don't remember you talking very much.
Oh, yeah, probably. That's anybody older.
Oh,
It was more like a hi-bye situation. Like, what's up, Gavin?
like Austin. So Lucy, when that reminds me of when you met Austin, kind of the high bye.
We just talked about it like right before we got here too.
Why don't you enlighten us?
Well, I'll talk about you first,
Oh no.
and then I'll go into that Austin after. My first impression of you before I even met you was Jacob crying within like 5 minutes of a movie we started watching.
Okay, now you're exposing Jacob.
What
not
movie?
me.
Cool.
What movie was it?
Charlie St.
Charlie St. Cloud.
Charlie St. Cloud.
We talked about that.
So I think this was probably like the first day I met you. I think
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
it was the first day I met him. It was like after our first date. We were like, oh, let's watch a movie. He was like, this is a good movie. I was like, okay. Like I wasn't really into movies.
Totally forgot about that part though.
So I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Turn
you
it
forgot
on.
about it, but it's a core memory for me. That's
Yep.
crazy.
He immediately started crying, and I was just like, are you okay?
It's an older brother who's responsible for his little brother's death. So yeah,
Well-
it hit me a little close.
Well, on top of that, I'm just not a crier. And so I was like freaked out because I was just like, why are you doing that?
I am
Why is this happening?
Very emotional when it comes to movies too. So
And I think you called him.
Well, I didn't
While
hear you
watching it.
crying when Iron Man died in Endgame, so...
okay, well,
Nobody
Are you
could
emotional?
nobody could hear over your crying, Gavin.
you kind of ruined the
I've
moment
heard,
for me.
I've heard you're a big crier in the movie.
Sobbing. Gosh, you ruined it for me. I wanted to let out a few tears, but you were just
So yeah, that
my
happened.
God.
I cried because I was thinking about my brothers, and then now I don't like Ethan very much. So
So that was my first impression of Ethan. I was like, who is this kid? Like, why is
special.
Jacob crying?
I just love my brother.
Yeah, no, I was like, well, I don't have siblings, so I mean, that's nice. Like, great.
Oh yeah, Lucy's an only child, so
explains a lot.
no connection there.
Yeah, I was like, great, awesome. And then he calls Ethan. And when I actually met Ethan, I didn't get it. Like, I was like, what were the tears for?
Oh my god.
That's
What was
fair.
the first thing
That's
you
a valid-
told me?
The first thing I said, "Oh, hi, you're short." Yeah. And then I think that's what me
tall are
saying
you,
that
Lucy?
me saying that kind of stunted my growing. So that's why I'm the short
You're
brother now.
Oof. How tall are you, babe?
I am 5 foot.
5 foot.
So she is short.
Yeah,
So Ethan's like 5'2".
Hey,
almost there.
not that short, guys.
So yeah, that was my first impression of Ethan. It was just the point of view from Jacob. I was like, oh, he's probably like a sweet boy. And then I met him, and I was like,
I am.
he's all right.
Okay, why'd you look at me like that?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no.
Whatever.
And then when I met Austin, it was outside of Jacob and Ethan's house, and he was just chilling. Jacob was like, this is my girlfriend, Lucy. I was like, hey, what's up? And then a golf cart pulls up to the house. He just hops in. He's like, bye. And I was like, well, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Then I turned to Jacob, and I was like, is that normal around here? Kids just hop into golf carts and go off?
Austin was like a freshman in high school at the time. So,
Yeah, one of his friends pulled up in a golf cart, and he just hopped in, and they went to QT or something.
that
Yeah.
friend,
To the gas
that friend
station.
called him before I left.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
why we talked about it again. I was like,
fun.
hey.
weird.
But yeah, that's how I met Austin. I was like, in my head, I was like, do I actually want to get involved here? Because there's a lot of weird siblings roaming around.
Yes. All of that is an indictment on yourself that you're still here. So
Yeah.
I called my brother crying the first day we met, and what does that say about you?
I was intrigued. I was like,
good.
interesting.
Aw, cute.
Interesting.
Look at that. I exceeded your expectations.
Mm.
Oh, there. Whoa. Easy there. You're a little cute, Ethan, too. Don't worry.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
You have little
you too,
baby
Gavin,
cheeks
while
at
we're
the
on it.
time.
That's how we met Lucy. How did you meet Lucy, Jacob?
Funny.
Funny.
So I'm a year older than her, so I was in high school, I was always a year above, but we never spoke in high school, never had any classes,
Same thing
never
with
talked
me
to her.
Yeah, same thing here with me.
I knew of her,
Me too.
and I had thought she was cute, but whatever, I didn't know her. And then until after high school, we on Twitter is where we started talking, because I just look at my phone one day and there's this weird DM on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, look at it, and it's a spam link to some knockoff sunglasses, I think.
Yes.
And then me in my head, I'm like, this is her, Lucy. Look at her profile. I'm like, yeah, she's pretty cute. So I use this as my shot. I throw up a buzzer beater 3-pointer from half court I reply to this spam message.
The only one that replied, by the way, out of like 20 people, whoever this sent out to.
Shit, you miss every shot you don't take. So
It's true.
I replied to this spam message with a single question mark. Just a question mark. Like, what? Oh my God, what is this? Huh? Hello? What's going on? And then she replies, like, feeling so bad, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I think I got hacked or blah, 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 whatever.
I was genuinely feeling bad.
And that was how we started talking and getting into conversing and knowing each other.
So a random scam is what brought you two together.
Yes.
Shout out scammers.
Actually.
Shout out scammers, guys.
No,
About a week later, he showed up to my college town at like 7 a.m.
2 hours apart.
Yeah, because I was living in Tucson at the time. So he showed up a week later to my college town.
Yep, and the rest is... Well, you know the rest.
Her story. Beautiful.
Yep.
Look at that.
Question marks.
We're going to get that framed in our house, just a big, like, question mark.
Do you still have access to that? Or do you have access to the actual
Oh, just
DM?
a question mark.
Do you have access to the actual DM?
I do.
No, maybe. I don't have Twitter. I
Lucy
don't have
keeps
any
everything.
social media.
I do keep everything. Like 10 years from now when you're getting married and I have all the dirt on you.
10 years. Whoa.
Well, whenever. I'll always have dirt on you at any time. Be careful with these.
This
my
video gets
God.
5 likes. We'll drop some dirt on Ethan.
Make it 4.
Make it
Oh.
more. Ooh.
Wave God can like all of them.
Wait.
I'll tempt him. I'll tempt him now.
Shout out Wave God. Okay. Fair. I understand that. Me,
You're short.
I'm short.
So saying that to you now.
I am short. I'm the shortest brother.
Sad.
It's sad. I live with it. But I am taller than Gavin by like 4 inches.
You're not.
Yeah, he might be an inch taller than me. But you know, we live. We live and we learn. We accept ourselves for who we are. And it's a beautiful thing.
Are you telling yourself that as like self-soothing?
That's why I say
Are
every
you thinking
morning
about
when I wake up.
Encanto again?
Aww.
We should watch that. You guys want to watch
No.
Fucking hell.
All right, cool. Lucy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you flying all the way out here.
All the way from what city was it again?
Dublin, Ohio.
Dublin, Ohio.
Yeah, not Ireland,
Yeah,
Ohio.
it was quite a flight.
So appreciate you making the trip out. It's been a pleasure. Anything you want to add? Anything you want the people to know?
I got nothing.
She's
I'm
got
just happy to
nothing.
be here.
Inspiring.
She's inspiring. We're gonna get that on t-shirts. I got nothing.
I got nothing.
This video gets 2 likes. We'll make merch.
It just
That says
goes
I got
down
nothing.
each time, huh?
This video gets at least 1 view.
Please. All right, let's get to the Jakey factuality.
Stutter there?
Just kidding.
So this is just from a question that you asked me earlier, Ethan, when you were trying to be dumb about a city that Lucy was from in your introduction. Did you know that the highest Asian population in Ohio is the city of Dublin?
What?
What?
I did not know that.
Also a city in Ireland.
That's crazy.
And I only had that fact because you asked me about it, and I totally forgot that I had to come up with something. So.
Did you say at the beginning, like, I'll come up with something? Naturally.
Yeah, I did, and then I got into the show. It was such a good show, so I just got sucked in. Lucy is Asian, by the way, so that's why it's relevant.
Lucy's Asian. All of my male
Oh my
siblings
gosh.
are with Asian women.
It's total coincidence, though.
You
Not
sure?
by design.
They're making our next generation half Asian, and then there we go.
Yep. Our older brother got married this past year.
Shout out
and
Brandon.
His new wife is Vietnamese, and Lucy is also Vietnamese, and Austin his girlfriend is Filipino. Yes. So
Shout out Vietnam.
shout out Vietnam. Oh my God! Funny story about Vietnam.
Oh,
Yeah?
So me and Lucy went to.
Oh, you're actually going? I thought you were making a joke. Okay.
Oh no, I
I'm
actually
here
do.
for it.
I
Okay.
think it is fun. I thought I told you this, but Ellie's birthday was this past weekend.
Shout out Ellie.
We had her party the week before, though. She's 6 years old.
Oh yeah, you told me this.
Okay, so we go to this
Jungle
play
gym.
place, I don't know, whatever, just to have like a kid's place to have fun. It's this huge like tree house indoors that has like slides and tunnels and a bunch of stuff you can climb on. It's just like a kid's, go play. And naturally, I go play with Lucy and Ellie. So, in this big tree playhouse thing, there's like underneath the root system, there's like tunnels that you can crawl under.
Dope.
And so as I walk up to this big old tree, and Ellie's like, let's go in the tunnels. And I'm like, all right. So I look down at these tunnels, and I start to like crawl in. I'm like, yo, this is like freaking Vietnam in here. And I'm starting to crawl through these tunnels. I'm checking the corners with my 1911. I'm like, whoop. I'm turning the corners. I'm like, where's Charlie? I start crawling. And there's a little tiny little voice from this random kid behind me who's like, Charlie's over here. And that was the highlight of the day for me.
Charlie's over here.
Oh, exquisite.
But yeah, that was fun. I had fun
You had fun?
crawling being a tunnel rat.
It was so much work.
Yes, it was very tiring.
A lot of climbing. I wasn't prepared for that. Like, I thought it was just a nice little jump place, where you can just hop on trampolines.
I had a great time, though.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. All right. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, go to YouTube, like and subscribe. On YouTube, it's at One-Eyed Fits. And instead of Twitter, we have an Instagram. That's at OEF_white noise.
Will you be posting on this Instagram?
I will be posting on the Instagram. I just made it.
Posting your art? Oh.
No.
Aw.
Unless
One-Eyed
it's white noise art, then maybe.
Sad.
We're going to be posting on the Instagram. I just made it an hour and 6 minutes ago. And so be sure to follow that. That's where we'll post everything. Not a lot of people have Twitter or use Twitter, and I'm not a fan of the interface. So there we go. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, probably some other places, the whole shebang. Go ahead and leave a comment of your thoughts, of your Batman thoughts and review, critiques, any thoughts you had for this episode, anything you want us to talk about in future episodes. Leave them down below, and maybe we'll even read some, like I am going to do right now from last week's episode. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So, this is from a good friend named Gilbert. Great show, guys. Paul is like the Energizer Bunny. Just keeps going on and going and going and going. Great stories. Great guests to have on the show. Review the original Rocky movies or my all-time scary movie, The Exorcist. Haven't you seen the Rocky movies?
Nope. Haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, review the Rocky movies in the future then. I haven't seen it.
That's from Rocky, by the way.
And then
If you
Paul,
didn't know that either.
I know what it's from.
Shout out, Paul.
And then Paul last week, just talking and talking. That's great.
Yeah, it was great. It's fun.
Enjoyed it.
Paul.
Thank you for your comment. Appreciate your support, being an avid listener and an avid commenter.
Exquisite.
There we go.
Shout out Gilbert.
Shout out Gilbert.
Bo.
All right. So be sure to like, subscribe, the whole shebang. The song of the week this week is a funny story. I was looking up random song titles, and then I found a song that I liked, and turns out it was just released like 2 days ago by this very unknown artist who has like 4 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Aw.
Sad.
So let's get him to 6, guys.
Nice.
I will be on it.
It's called Guns and Sharp Swords by Sween Dog.
Swing Dog.
Sween Dog. SWEENDOG. Guns and Sharp Swords. Has a nice style to it, the nice vibe. I like the vocals. Very exquisite, as Gavin might say.
Exquisite.
There we go. Be sure to check it out. And it's going to be a wrap for this week. Lucy, want to say goodbye to the people?
Goodbye, people. Thank
Goodbye,
you for
people.
having me.
Of course. Can't wait to have you on again.
Woo.
And now I'm going to go take Gavin to watch Encanto again.